A first date is not an interview. It is not a performance. It is not a 90-minute audition for the role of someone's partner. And the moment you stop treating it like one is the moment first dates start going significantly better. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what a first date actually is, what it's actually for, and the specific things that create real attractions. Most first date advice is 10 years out of date. Don't talk about your exes. Don't bring up money. Ask where they see themselves in 5 years. Keep it light. And look, some of that is still fine, but dating operates differently. People are more guarded. Emotional intelligence is higher. Attention spans are shorter. In this video, I'm going to give you the updated version. Not theory, not generic advice that sounds good but does nothing when you're actually sitting across from someone. Specific, practical, and grounded in the psychology of what actually creates connection between two people when they are getting to know each other for the first time. Before we begin, subscribe to ensure that you never miss out on any of my videos. With that said, let's get right in. Before we get into the specific rules, I want to reframe what a first date actually is, because I think a lot of first date anxiety and a lot of first date mistakes come directly from a misunderstanding of its purpose. Most people approach a first date as an audition, a performance, a carefully managed presentation of the best possible version of themselves designed to make the other person say yes. And this framing, while understandable, creates almost every problem that first dates have. It makes you stiff. It makes you perform rather than connect. It makes you manage the impression you are making rather than actually being present with the person in front of you. And the person across from you, who is also a human being with functioning social instincts, can feel that performance. They can feel the gap between who you are presenting yourself as and who you actually are. And that gap, however small, creates distance. A first date is not an audition. It is a conversation between two people who are trying to find out whether they want to have more conversations. That is all it is. And when you hold it that lightly, when you approach it as a genuine exploration rather than a performance to be nailed, everything changes. Your body relaxes. Your conversation becomes real. Your presence becomes the thing that creates attraction rather than the carefully curated story you were planning to tell. That reframe is the foundation of everything else in this video. Hold it in mind as we go through the specifics. Rule 1. Be genuinely curious, not impressively interesting. Here is one of the most counterintuitive truths about attraction on a first date. The person who asks better questions is almost always more attractive than the person who tells better stories. Most people spend a first date trying to be interesting. They think of impressive things to mention. They steer the conversation to the topics that make them look good. And meanwhile, the person across from them is spending the whole evening being interviewed rather than heard. Genuine curiosity, the real, unperformed kind, where you're actually interested in the answer rather than just filling space until it is your turn to speak again, is one of the rarest and most addictive human experiences there is. So the first rule is, be more interested than interesting. Prepare fewer stories about yourself and more genuine questions about them. Not interview questions, not where do you work and where are you from, but the kind of questions that open things up. What do you love about what you do? What are you working on that has you excited right now? What's something most people get wrong about you? The answers will give you more to connect over than any story you could have prepared. And the act of asking tells them something more valuable than any of your story, that you are someone who finds people genuinely worth.
Rule 2. Bring warmth before you bring wit. Humor is one of the most powerful tools in early attraction. Research consistently shows that being funny increases perceived attractiveness significantly. But here is what the research also shows. Warmth is the prerequisite. Humor without warmth underneath it reads as performance, or worse, as a way of keeping emotional distance while still being entertaining. And people, particularly people who have been on enough first dates to know the difference, can feel that distinction immediately. Warmth looks like genuine eye contact that communicates interest rather than challenge. A smile that arrives in your eyes before it arrives on your lips. The way you respond to something they say, not with a pivot to your own experience, but with actual engagement with theirs. The willingness to be moved by something they tell you, to say, "That's actually really beautiful," or "I hadn't thought about it that way," without immediately deflecting into a joke or a story of your own. When warmth is present, humor lands. When warmth is absent, even the best jokes feel like a shield. So lead with warmth. Let the wit follow naturally, as it will when you are genuinely relaxed and genuinely enjoying the person you are with. The combination, warmth plus wit, is enormously attractive, but warmth must come first. Rule 3. Go somewhere real in the conversation, at least once. This is the rule that separates a good first date from a memorable one. And it is the one most people are most afraid of. Pleasant conversation is easy. Safe topics, shared preferences, light opinions, mutual laughter. You can have a perfectly pleasant first date on this level and walk away with almost nothing, because nothing real was risked, nothing honest was offered. The evening was enjoyable, but it did not create intimacy. And intimacy, even a small, early, appropriate version of it, is what makes someone want to see you again. Going somewhere real does not mean trauma dumping on a first date. It does not mean confessing your deepest fears over appetizers. It means being willing, at some point in the evening, to say something true, something you actually believe rather than something designed to be well received, something that reveals a genuine value, a genuine passion, a genuine complexity, something that could not have been said by any generic version of a person on a first date, only by you. This kind of honesty is vulnerable in a small way, and that small vulnerability is exactly what creates connection. It says, "I trust you enough to show you something real." And most people, when someone shows them something real, lean in rather than pull back. Because they have been sitting through surfaces all evening, and something genuine, even a small piece of it, feels like relief.
Rule 4. Your body language is talking whether you are or not. Research on communication consistently shows that a significant portion of what we communicate in face-to-face interaction is nonverbal. On a first date, where both people are highly attuned to signals, this matters enormously. And the good news is that the body language that communicates most attractively is not a set of techniques to learn. It is the natural physical expression of a calm, genuinely present, genuinely interested person. What that looks like in practice. You are not checking your phone, not even briefly, not even to check the time. The phone stays face down or in your pocket for the entire date. In this present time, with phones as present as they are, putting yours away completely is a gesture that is noticed. It says, "You are what I am paying attention to right now." That communicates something powerful before a word is spoken. Your posture is open rather than closed. You are facing them, leaning slightly toward them when the conversation gets interesting, not pulled back in a way that suggests you are managing distance. Your arms are not crossed. Your shoulders are not tense and raised. You look like someone who is comfortable being where they are. Eye contact is present, but not unblinking, natural, warm, the kind that says, "I am with you in this conversation," rather than "I am trying to demonstrate that I am paying attention." And when they are talking about something that matters to them, your face shows that you are actually receiving it, not the polite nod of someone waiting for the next opening, the real expression of someone who is actually there. You cannot fake these things for very long, but you also do not need to, because if you have genuinely put the performance mindset down and replaced it with genuine curiosity and presence, your body will express that naturally.
The work is internal. The body follows. Rule 5. Stop trying to impress them. This sounds counterintuitive. It sounds like the opposite of what a first date is for. But hear me out. Trying to impress someone creates a very specific dynamic. It positions you as someone who needs their approval. It makes you perform rather than connect. It fills the space with the best version of your resume rather than the actual version of your personality. And people are extraordinarily good at detecting when they are being sold to rather than met. The thing that actually impresses people on a first date is not the impressive story. It is the person who does not seem to need to impress them. The person who is comfortable enough in themselves to simply be present, to laugh at their own flaws without shame, to disagree with something their date says without apology, to be genuinely interested in the other person rather than invested in the other person's assessment of them. That quality, the quality of not needing approval while still clearly wanting connection, is one of the most compelling things a person can embody on a first date. It communicates security. It communicates that your sense of your own worth does not hinge on how this particular evening goes. And that security is far more attractive than any accomplishment you could name drop. So the rule is, be willing to be liked for who you are, not for the version of yourself you think they want. Share the things that genuinely excite you, not the things you think will land well. Have the opinion you actually hold. Order what you actually want. And trust that the person across from you would rather meet a real human being than an impressive presentation.
Rule 6. Know how to end the date well. The end of a first date is disproportionately important. Research on memory consistently shows that we remember the peak and the end of an experience far more strongly than the average of it. This means that the final 10 minutes of your first date have an outsized influence on how the entire evening is remembered. The most common mistake at the end of a first date is letting it drag. The evening has had a natural high point, a moment of real connection, a long shared laugh, a conversation that genuinely went somewhere. And then, instead of leaving on that note, both people stay until the energy has wound all the way down and the goodbye is more relief than anticipation. The date that ends at a high point is almost always remembered more fondly than the one that outstays its welcome. End the date while you are both still engaged, not abruptly, not in a way that signals you want to leave, but with the quiet confidence of someone who is not desperate to extend the evening because they are secure in the connection that has been made. A clean, warm goodbye. Direct eye contact. Something genuine about what you enjoyed. And if you want to see them again, say so. Not with hedging, not with a trailing suggestion about maybe sometime. Something clear. I'd really like to do this again. Or I'm going to text you. Not a question, a statement. Warm, direct, and confident. That ending, genuine, warm, direct, leaving them wanting more, is what they will be thinking about on the drive home. And what they are thinking about on the drive home is what determines whether they want to do this again. And now the biggest first date mistake, the one I want to leave you with. Over-researching and over-preparing. Dating apps and social media mean that most people arrive at a first date having already spent significant time on their date's profile. They know where they went to university, what their last holiday was, what their opinion is on 3 current topics from their Instagram stories. And the temptation is to use this information, to arrive already knowing things, already prepared with references and connection points and a sense of who this person is. The problem is that it removes genuine discovery. And genuine discovery, the experience of finding out who someone is in real time, being surprised by them, encountering the person rather than the profile, is one of the electric parts of a first meeting. When you already know too much, you are not meeting a person. You are confirming a version of them you have already constructed. And they can feel that.
The questions feel slightly rehearsed. The "oh really" when they mention something feels slightly performed. Let them tell you who they are. Be genuinely surprised. Ask about things you could have looked up but did not. Give the evening the gift of real, unscripted discovery. That is where connection actually happens, not in the preparation, in the presence.
6 rules. Not a performance checklist, a way of being. Be more curious than impressive. Lead with warmth before wit. Go somewhere real in the conversation at least once. Let your body language express genuine presence. Stop trying to impress them and start trying to actually meet them. End the date well and leave them wanting more. And underneath all of it, let the date be what it is. An exploration, a conversation, a chance to find out whether this is someone worth knowing better. Not a make or break moment, not an audition for your future, just 2 people, a table between them, and the possibility of something real if they are both willing to show up honestly enough to find out. That willingness to be genuinely present, genuinely curious, genuinely yourself is the only first date rule that has never been outdated, and it is the one that works every single time. That's Love Decoded. Drop a comment below. What is the best or worst first date you have ever been on? Tell me what happened. I read every single comment, and the stories in this one are going to be good. If this gave you something useful, subscribe. We release a new video every week that decodes the parts of dating and attraction that most people are figuring out the hard way. Share this with someone who has a first date coming up, and I will see you in the next one.